Hello and welcome to Simon's Trading Channel. My name is Simon. This is my daily Bitcoin price action analysis. Back in base. Happy Friday to you. Yes, it's the end of the week on CME. Well, it certainly will be in 2 hours, 40 minutes, which I've just realised. Yes, there we are. I couldn't see it ticking down for a moment. So it looks like this will be the fourth week in the current range. So 4 down, potentially 4 to go. Can you see those fingers? But that's just my hypothesis. Who knows if it'll come right? Not even me. Anyway, before I get straight into more price action, just a reminder, it's not financial advice. Okay, hope you had a good Friday. Now, for the lower time frames, just going to jump in to Bybit here. And that's the weekly I've already seen. You can see the daily sort of playing out in this kind of ascending formation, whatever you want to call it. You might want to call it a wedge, you might want to call it a flag, whatever. But so far, it's a sequence of a stretch 1, 2, potentially 3 higher lows. Although this is only really a higher low if the price gets back above 70,000, give or take. Well, no, it probably is a higher low as it stands. I retract that statement. But it can only lead on to a new high with closures back above basically 71,000. So there we are. The action's all on the lower time frames. Just out of interest, what's the prediction for the MACD cross down 54,000? So a long way away from that on the daily. 4 hour. So something interesting is happening on the 4 hour. This is starting to look a bit more like a local low, which would obviously be in tandem with these lows, a higher one. And also the MACD is sort of approaching the zero line, although at the moment it's still $1,500 off crossing above it. So I'm not saying that's on the cards right now, but if you switch down to a 15-minute, do some multi-time frame analysis. All right. So sequence, so range, downtrend, range, the etchings of an uptrend. And I say that because of this really higher low here from this one. This is on the 15-minute though, and at the moment it's mid-range. Now you might be thinking, what are you talking about, Simon? That's not mid-range. You're going mental. And what I mean by that is, and this only really applies to the lower time frame. Clearly, when the price is between a local high and a local low, it's effectively mid-range. So here's the local high, here's a local low, and the price is in between. So that's helpful in a way because you can then say, well, fair enough, closures back above 69,000, which has been significant for a while, would therefore be continuation of this uptrend. And the opposite to that would be closures back below 66,000. That's also been an important price area. Because closures back below there would be continuation of this down move, just in a kind of different format. You can draw trend lines wherever you want. They are completely personal, but you could, end up with a trend line, something like this, and you can turn it into. I'm not saying this in a meaningful way. I'm just demonstrating that. You can make many different arguments to describe price action. That's another little triangle. You can see triangles everywhere. And if you look too hard, it all goes a bit crazy. But that's not really what I'm looking at the moment. As I said, I'm looking at this more of a range with 69,250 on the very low time frames versus 65,850 again on the very low time frames, like 15-minute. 50-minute to an hour time frame. And so while it remains below or in between them, then that's just declining volatility with sideways price action. Right, now let me just get rid of all this jazz. Get rid of these crazy lines. And what am I now? 5 minutes 25. Oh, I'm being too efficient. I need to chuck in a bit of banter and stop being so efficient with my description of the price action. Friday night, I hope you're all out partying. I'm not. Oh no. That was what I was going to do, and I thought this was interesting too. So this is just I'm sure other people have the same feeling on the MACD, but this is my own personal view, all right? This is not tradable information. But basically, you can see that it's all about the zero line. You've heard me say that many times. For me personally, for other people, it's not. You can see it's still above the zero line, although it's getting close to crossing below. And funnily enough, it'll cross below 66,500, give or take. But that does change the closer you get to it. So it's similar to my target down here of 66,000 for more downside. Right? Move up to an hourly. The hourly has recently crossed back above, and indeed will stay above the zero line, above 66,000. So that's interesting. And the 4 hour will cross back up around about 69,000. And the range that I just referred to involves basically here, which is 69,000. Go away. Trying to do a straight line. How hard can it be to draw a straight line on the chart? I haven't been drinking. And, somewhere between 66,600 and 60,000. So bang in that range. So that to me makes this range pretty significant. I mean, they're all significant, right? All price action is significant. But I feel like the Bitcoin, it's also hanging around the middle of the overall range. So I do also feel that I think upside may have just about taken over the momentum. It hasn't yet, though, but 69,000 definitely, but it's sort of hanging in a balance at the moment for me personally. Although, having said that, a little move back down to this trend line and then keep wedging itself in would also sort of seem quite logical too. And it makes zero difference on the higher time frames, which is still extremely bullish. Just for a laugh, let's see, where does the weekly MACD have to be to close? Oh look, minus 50,000. That shows the flaw in this amazing indicator that Caretaker made. But when the price action is miles away from where the zero line is, when the MACD is miles away from the zero line, the predictions are rubbish, basically. But as it gets closer, it becomes more reliable. Okay, now, how many minutes is that? Nearly 9 minutes. I'm going to draw a line and today's Bitcoin price action analysis. If you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe. I'll be your friend forever. Well, as long as you're nice. If you haven't enjoyed the video, then please don't come back tomorrow because I'll be doing it all again. Take care. See you tomorrow.